from a bad storm, hurricane. So I think it's pretty good that they all chip in and, give back to the kids and give them something to be able to look forward to.
That's awesome. I mean, they're big. They're a big part of the for the region, and then to invest back into the communities, it's huge.
It's a gift that has made it possible for more than 800 local kids to take part, like Cruz Gonzalez.
It's really fun action. My favorite part, flying down low, it's a really fun spot, to be honest.
Cruz is just one of the parish's youth basketballers. He's been participating in the program for a while.
I have played 6 years, actually.
So it's really cool to see him progress over the years, and he's definitely been improving.
Chelsea Lee has also been a part of this program for years.
It's energetic, and I get to play one of my favorite sports a lot.
Brown says giving kids basic skills and fostering an appreciation for competition and sportsmanship is a big part of the youth basketball program's success.
Good job. We get kids from five years old that's in our program, and we get a chance to watch them mature from 5, 6, not being able to dribble. 7-year-olds learning a little more of the game, where the game gets a little more intense. 8-year-olds where it's a little more aggressive. And when they get 9, 10, 11, 12, you can really see the basic stuff. If you give it to the kids at a younger age, that they can get it. They'll learn how to jump stop, how to be in triple threat, the essence of basketball.
For the kids, it's all about spending time with friends and just having fun.
Family, friends, that's pretty much it. I get encouraged.
It's very fun to have to play because we laugh a lot during the games, and and at practice we play a lot.
It is actually pretty cool. I enjoy it. It is a little overwhelming getting them back and forth, but she does definitely enjoy the sport. I think it's really organized, and it gives the children an opportunity to have some fun outside of school and develop skills like working with each other, teamwork, and also getting, to have a competitive time with each other and stuff. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
For more information about the parish's youth sports programs, visit www.scpparksandrec.com or call 985-783-5090. Listen up. Another St. Charles Parish native is giving back in a big way.
This is the start of it, and I just wanted to work on this and build from this.
Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson and Optimum Nutrition donated this state-of-the-art outdoor fitness station to Parquet Park in St. Rose. The equipment produced by Compan and provided by Optimum Nutrition's Building Better Lives initiative aims to give better access to fitness in under-resourced communities. Jefferson and parish officials couldn't be happier about the donation.
This is a great addition to Parquet Park. A collaboration between Justin Jefferson and Optimum Nutrition has brought the world-class outdoor fitness assembly that you see behind me here today.
It's just honestly a blessing to be able to give back to my community.
It's always refreshing and really rewarding to see those kids that do the work on the field and in the club.
Good evening and welcome to the St. Charles Parish Council meeting on Monday, April 18, 2022 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers in the parish courthouse. Please silence all electronic devices and remove all hats. This meeting is called to order with a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance from Pastor Thomas Hines with Hope Church in Destrehan.
Well, good evening. The last 2 minutes are like holding your breath underwater. Glad you're here. Glad to be here. Father, we love you. We thank you for this day. We thank you, Lord, for another great opportunity to come before you, to do the work that you've called us to do, the work of leading this great parish forward. Lord, I pray for your continued blessing, your direction, for your wisdom. Lord, we pray for, God, for empathy. We pray, Lord, for love. We pray for peace and protection. God, we pray, Lord, that you would direct us and help us. And Lord, we thank you for this time together tonight. We ask you to bless it. Bless all the work that needs to be done. Bless those that are represented here. And we ask you to do all of that. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Join with me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, thank you, Pastor Hines.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes, regular meeting, April 4th, 2022. A motion and a second is needed to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of April 4th, 2022. I have a motion by Ms. Billings and second by Ms. Gordon. Please cast your votes. And that passes with 8 yeas and Ms. Comier absent for the evening. Special business, proclamations, canvas returns, etc. 2022-0099, a proclamation, National Day of Prayer. Mr. Jewell.
Thank you, Chairman. Proclamation. Whereas because of the faith of many of our founding fathers, public prayer and national days of prayer have a long-standing and significant history in American tradition. And whereas the first call to prayer was proclaimed by the Second Continental Congress in 1775. And whereas the National Day of Prayer was created in 1952 by a joint resolution of Congress and signed into law by President Harry S. Truman, in 1988 the law was unanimously amended by both the House and the Senate and signed into law by President Ronald Reagan, designating the first Thursday of May as the National Day of Prayer. Whereas prayer brings people together, prayer builds bridges between opposing persons and even political parties, and prayer reminds us that we are created in God's image, and He desires us to represent Him in everywhere we go. Prayer brings unity. And whereas the 2022 National Day of Prayer theme is Exalt the Lord who has established us, people from across the nation will gather together on this day to observe this symbolic event. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim Thursday, May 5th, 2022, as a National Day of Prayer, and here to accept as my friend, Pastor Thomas Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Jewell. Thank you, St. Charles Parish. There's a saying that prayer changes things, and it's one of those things you just don't know until you experience it. But as a pastor and as a leader in our community, I appreciate the opportunity to do this and look forward to us coming together on this property and praying together as a community. And you're all invited, and I hope that you'll come. Thank you.
Ms. Cooley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What time is the event start? Does anybody know?
It'll be 12 noon. This
All
is
right.
Thursday, May the 5th, 12 to 1, right here underneath the gazebo.
Thank you.
With the slight exception of a terrible storm, and we'll move to somewhere
They're only
else.
on Wednesdays this year.
Tuesdays.
Storms are Tuesdays.
Thunderstorm Tuesday.
2022-0100, in recognition, Brandon Joseph Marshall, Eagle Scout. Ms. Gordon.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. In recognition, whereas Brandon Joseph Marshall is a former resident of St. Charles Parish, residing in River Ridge, Louisiana. He is the son of Teresa Marshall of River Ridge and Bronson in Britannia Park of Billings, Montana. He has two siblings, Cruz and Nash. Whereas Brandon is a member of Troop 370, chartered by St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church in Luling. He started his scouting career August 2007. And whereas Brandon has spent the last 14 years as an active member of the Scouts, spending the last 7 years preparing to become an Eagle Scout. And whereas Brandon has earned his 26 merit badges from a list of 137 badges and completed his Eagle Scout service project by building 2 Take a Book, Leave a Book libraries. And whereas Brandon earned these 26 merit badges by showing leadership ability as troop guide, chaplain aide, assistant patrol leader, and troop historian. And whereas Brandon rose to the rank of Eagle Scout on December 5th, 2020, and received his medal in a ceremony on March 6, 2022, at the St. Anthony of Padua Community Activity Building in Luling. And whereas Brandon is attending the University of New Orleans on an academic scholarship majoring in electrical engineering and is on the president's list, he will continue to grow as an Eagle Scout by providing leadership as an assistant scout master for Troop 370. Now therefore be it resolved, we the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the parish president do hereby offer this tribute in recognition to Brandon Joseph Marshall. What an honor.
Thank you. I would first like to thank the council for taking a moment to recognize me and Quinn as Eagle Scouts. I would like to thank my mother, my father, my grandpa who's with us tonight, and my friend Trevor, who helped me a lot throughout the way of scouting. All of them helped me throughout the way of scouting. And I'm really glad I got the opportunity to be in Scouts, make Eagle. I thank the parish for having the scouting program here. And, yep.
Go ahead. No, you asked to.
No, I'm good.
Let me ask him.
No, I'm fine. Not a problem.
Thank you.
All righty, 2022-0101 in recognition, Quinn Anthony Champagne, Eagle Scout. Ms. Cluley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Parish of St. Charles in recognition, whereas Quinn Anthony Champagne is a resident of St. Charles Parish residing in Luling, Louisiana, with his parents Brian and Amanda, brothers Adam, Seth, and Caleb, and sisters Brittany and Evan. And whereas Quinn is a member of Troop 370, chartered by St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church in Luling, he started his scouting career August 2009. And whereas Quinn has spent the last 12 years as an active member of the Scouts, spending the last 7 years preparing to become an Eagle Scout. And whereas Quinn has earned his 24 merit badges from a list of 137 badges and completed his Eagle Scout service project by replacing the doors to the auxiliary classroom at St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church. And whereas Quinn earned these 24 merit badges by showing leadership ability as senior patrol leader, assistant senior patrol leader, troop scribe, and assistant patrol leader. And whereas Quinn rose to the rank of Eagle Scout on December 16, 2021, and received his medal in a ceremony on March 6, 2022, at the St. Anthony of Padua Community Activity Building in Luling. And whereas Quinn graduated from Hornville High School in 2021 and is a freshman at River Parish's Community College, he will continue to grow as an Eagle Scout by providing leadership as an assistant scoutmaster for Troop 370. Now therefore it be resolved, we the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President do hereby offer this tribute and recognition to Quinn Anthony Champagne. And congratulations to you, family.
I would just like to thank my family, my church, and my community for helping me get to this achievement. And of course, the council for recognizing me for this. It means a lot. Thank you.
Brandon, could you hold up a minute? Quinn, could you come up? Is your Scoutmaster with you?
Yes, sir.
Come on up, Mr. Gare. I'm going to take a little executive privilege here. Okay. Since I'm an Eagle Scout.
I'm going to stand up here by myself.
Just give me a minute. Mr. Gary, how many Eagle Scouts does this make?
For the troop, I think that's 68.
Wow. Mr. Gary, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a picture with you and your two newest Eagle Scouts.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for indulging me. Well, look, you too could be sitting up here one day. Eagle Scout can make it, or you could go to the moon, or you could play football for an NFL team. So, be the president of the United States. The windows are there completely. So, it's an accomplishment. Again, congratulations. Okay, 2022-0102 Proclamation, National Volunteer Week, and Rsvp Volunteer Day in St. Charles Parish. Mr. Jewell.
Thank you, Chairman. Proclamation. Whereas National Volunteer Week was established by a presidential proclamation in 1974 to highlight the various opportunities available for those interested in volunteering. And whereas Volunteer Week is an opportunity to recognize and thank volunteers who lend their time, talent, voice, and support to causes in their community, and celebrate the impact of change makers in the community and inspire others to serve. And whereas Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, RSVP, enables older Americans aged 55 and older to contribute to their communities through volunteer services, and whereas retired and senior volunteers are recruited and assigned locally to serve on a regular basis throughout their communities in local schools, libraries, hospitals, adult daycare centers, senior centers, nursing homes, veterans homes, museums, government agencies, and many other community service organizations providing services in literacy, substance abuse prevention, mass care, disaster relief, just to name a few. And whereas RSVP Volunteer Day is a great opportunity to recognize and thank the retired and senior volunteers for giving back to their communities, now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President do hereby proclaim April 17th through the 23rd, 2022, as National Volunteer Week. Be it further resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, April 20th, as RSVP Volunteer Day in St. Charles Parish. And here to accept will be Ms. Jeannie Yerby, along with Mr. and Mrs. Slowinski.
Thank you.
On behalf of the AmeriCorps Retire Senior Volunteer Program in St. Charles Parish, I'd like to thank you for this honor to come forward and be recognized for the service we all do, the retired senior volunteers do for the community. It's always invigorating to go out and see the people that are changed by us volunteering, from the nursing homes to the school kids over in a day camp at the plantations, or just serving it as calling bingo at the Ashton Manor or someplace like that. There's many things that we do, and we really appreciate the honor of being recognized for that service. Thank you very much.
I'd also like to thank you for the honor of this award. Volunteers get more out of it than you'd imagine. When you work with other volunteers, you make new friends at this age, and the different places you go, you also require new people that look up to you, and you enjoy learning about them. So it's like to encourage other seniors to come out and join us and do more volunteering. Thank you.
2022-0103, a proclamation, Little Red Church Festival Weekend. Ms. Gordon.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Proclamation. Whereas St. Charles Borromeo Catholic Church is hosting their 40th annual Little Red Church Food and Fun Festival April 29th, 30th, May 1st, 2022 at 13396 River Road in Destrehan, Louisiana. Whereas the Little Red Church Festival Committee invites everyone to come and enjoy delicious food and beverages, exciting games, amusement parks, live bands, dancing, pageantry, and a coordination of Miss Little Red Church. Now therefore be it resolved, we the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President do hereby proclaim April 29th, 30th, and May 1st, 2022 at St. Charles Borromeo's Catholic Church, Little Red Church Festival Weekend in St. Charles Parish, and encourage all citizens to attend the festival in Destrehan, Louisiana. we have Alyssa Aker, Miss Queen 9, and Allison Powell, Teen Queen 9, here.
Thank you. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Melissa Aker.
And I'm Allison Powell.
We are proudly representing the Little Red Church Food and Fun Festival and Pageant. We would like to thank you for having us here tonight. We are extremely grateful to be back. We would also like to take a moment to appreciate our parish for all of their hard work and dedication to the recovery after Hurricane Ida. We are very excited to see the community back together again and celebrating our 40 years.
This year, our theme is The Little Red Church Celebrates the Milestones of History. We will have live music all weekend, including lots of foods, games, and carnival rides for everyone to enjoy. We would love to invite you all to our festival, April 29th, 30th, and May 1st. We hope to see you all there.
(2022-0104), a proclamation by Desalmon's Blessing of the Fleet Day. Mr. Dufresne.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Proclamation, whereas the crew of Desalmons and the community members will host their annual boat blessing on Sunday, May 1st, 2022 from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. under the Big Bridge on Highway 90 in Desalmons. And whereas all boats are welcome, commercial fishing boats, work boats, sport fishing boats, charter boats, power boats, pleasure crafts, PWCs, hunting boats, mud boats, houseboats, kayaks, etc. Now therefore be it resolved, we the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President do hereby proclaim Sunday, May 1st, 2022 as Baye des Almas Blessing of the Fleet Day in St. Charles Parish and invite all citizens to attend and enjoy the fun and festivities. To accept this is Ms. Sherry Foss, Ms. Lynn Pickett, and Ms. Mitzi Peaty.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank you guys for this proclamation to continue on with this new tradition we started here just a few short years ago. And if it floats, we will bless it. So y'all come on down and get a blessing with us. Thank you.
(2022-0105), proclamation, Need to Feed Month in St. Charles Parish. Mr. Gibbs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Unfortunately, this one isn't as happy as all the other ones. Proclamation, whereas 1 in 6 households in Louisiana are at risk of hunger. Across our state and region, the rising cost of food, housing, and utilities have increased the need for emergency food assistance. And whereas the St. Charles Parish Department of Community Service, in partnership with the Coalition of Food Banks throughout the parish, is working together to call attention to the need to restock and maintain adequate food supplies in our local food banks. And whereas the Food Coalition sites will be established throughout St. Charles Parish to collect unexpired, non-perishable foods to be evenly distributed to the local food pantries during the month of May. Saturday, June 4th will be the Need to Feed Day, where there will be a fun 5K run walk, children's activities, feed a truck. Vehicles from area will park for the kids of all ages to explore, demonstrations, and a help source fair sharing with the community services that offered them. And whereas food insecurity has become an increasing issue in St. Charles Parish. In 2021, the local food bank served approximately 29,480 people and approximately 11,792 families throughout St. Charles Parish. And whereas because of COVID-19 and Hurricane Ida, with monthly mass distributions, many families were never expected to need assistance, find themselves having to reach out. And whereas, let us all join together and help feed America by starting with the citizens of our own parish. Now therefore, be it resolved, we the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 as Need to Feed Month in St. Charles Parish, and encourage all citizens of St. Charles Parish to support the efforts of the local food banks, responding to the growing need for food support to individuals and families in St. Charles Parish. Ms. Mary Ann Schindler.
Our husband should be in this too.
Thank you.
I'm Marianne Schindler and honored to be president of Matthew 2535 Ministries. I thank you all for recognizing the need to feed and declaring May as Need to Feed Month. I have with me Laura Lee Rogers and Heidi Adams, who are two of the board members for the ministry. I'd like to share a little bit about the most amazing year that we ever had. Over the past year, we have been privileged to serve families through COVID, through Ida, and through normal life. We served families 9,450 times, consisting of over 26,000 people, and that's just our food bank. We have had volunteers step up to serve from the community near and far. People came and served others while their homes were in shambles. We have had individuals, organizations, businesses just show up with donations or with funds to keep our ministry serving people. It is not about the ministry or the task. It's about the people we serve and the people that serve them. It's about a grandma that called me shortly after Ida. She had her house destroyed and she moved in with her daughter. And right after Ida, they found out her 2-year-old grandson had leukemia. The doctor wanted him to be on Pediasure and Pedialyte, and the insurance company wouldn't pay for it. So they tried to buy it and they didn't have the funds. They came through the food pantry, and for the first time ever, somebody walked up to the window and said, "Do you need some Pedialyte or Pediasure?" We had never gotten that before to serve, but we had it that day, and we've had it every day since. It's about a council person that comes and serves regularly in the food pantry, and most of the volunteers don't have any clue that it's a council person, because you know why? It doesn't matter. The person's there to serve. We are so excited to get back to some of the programs that we used to do, workshops. We have a hurricane preparedness workshop set up, and hopefully we did it last year for the first time. We're hoping that we don't have the same results of needing it this year. We're excited about the River Region Community College, that we're setting up a program where they're going to help through us give some of the students that are not food dependent food so that they can worry about their studies instead of worrying about how are they going to put food on the table for their families. We are excited to be looking forward into praying and searching for new facilities because we've outgrown where we are. So we're looking for land or somebody to take us in with facilities.
Good evening. I'm Laura Lee Rogers. I'd just like to share with you, it's been a blessing to serve with Matthew 25:35 Ministries and to see people from all over the parish come together and serve together for the community. I've seen people from the Art Guild, from multiple gyms, from multiple churches, from Rsvp, and we've come together as a community and become a family to serve our fellow community members. We have elementary students who are excited to get out for school so that they can come back and serve at the pantry. We have a high school student who's doing her high school project cheer camp, so for the clients of the Matthew 25:35's children and grandchildren who normally can't go to the regular cheer camps that are out for our community. We are just excited for all of the things that are happening. We are doing a new beginnings program with the Sheriff's Office and with the Office of Probation and Parole to extend services to those that are being released from prison or on probation, to provide them, those that are food insecure, to provide them with substance to provide to their families so that they can hopefully change the direction where they were headed. And so we're excited of some of those programs that are coming.
And I just want to thank y'all for allowing us to have the Need to Feed Month. It does reach out and it means a lot to us, but it means everything that we can provide for the community as well. With the Need to Feed, we are still looking for different people to host. So if anybody knows of anybody that would like to host a food drive, or it could be a business, a school, churches, anything like that, even you within your family could make like a little competition between it and reach out to us to try to see how we can host different things. With our Need to Feed Day on June 4th, we're starting a few new things. We want to have where the community can come out and get resources and find places and find things that they can do. Like we're going to have people on site as part of the Help and Resource Fair to help them fill out SNAP applications. We're going to have the River Parish Community College with a welding simulator coming out for us as well. Second Harvest is going to be there. We're still in the works of getting health screenings and even the blood truck to come out to collect blood and do a blood drive that day. Any resources that y'all might know of, you can reach out again to us. We'd love to expand this to anything and everything that the community needs, and a place that the community can show what they do, because this is a wonderful parish of St. Charles Parish, and we just need to show off to everybody what we do. And this is a perfect opportunity. One of the fun things that is new this year is Feed a Truck. What better way to feed a truck than bringing a can of food and voting on your best truck, the favorite one you like, favorite one the kids like. Bring it, have fun. The kids can see different police vehicles. We have fire trucks coming. We have, we've reached out to the National Guard to have some of their vehicles as well. The animal control is going to be bringing by one of their vehicles. If you know somebody that has just a fun Saints vehicle or LSU vehicle, a boat, anything that drives, like she said, anything that floats, anything that rolls, we'll take it. That way that people can look at it, see it, experience it, have fun, a way to allow other community organizations to be able to show what they do and express what they do through the community as well. And we will always have things for the kids, community events, community activities for them, games, and we're trying to get Sparky and Officer McGruff, because those kids love those. So just looking forward to any resources or groups that anybody would like to participate. Contact us again, and hope to see y'all all on June 4th as we celebrate the end of Need to Feed Month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, if it would not be out of order, I would just like to say, St. Charles Parish Rotary Club, this year, we chose a Citizen of the Year, and it was Miss Mary Ann Schindler for the great work that they do there. Just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Mr. Jewell. I just want to thank Miss Mary Ann Schindler, her board members, and everybody who makes the ministries of their work and all the great work y'all do. I know it can't be easy. A lot of logistics involved in getting things in, keeping it cold, checking dates, making sure that what you're giving out is going to be fresh, and making sure that it's not out of date and all that good stuff. So it is definitely a full-time job, and we just want to thank you for everything y'all do, because this is something that really goes on in the parish that is kind of under the radar. People don't really see it. They don't expect it in a parish like St. Charles, but it's out there. And as Councilman Gibbs said, the statistics aren't great for the state of Louisiana. So again, just thanks for everything y'all do. Y'all truly are angels to a lot of people.
(2022-0105) Proclamation. 0106. Proclamation, Older Americans Month. Mr. Jewell.
Thank you, Chairman. A proclamation, whereas St. Charles Parish includes a growing number of older Americans who contribute their strength, wisdom, and experience to our community, and whereas communities benefit when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds are welcomed, included, and supported. And whereas St. Charles Parish recognizes our need to create a community that provides the services and supports older Americans need to thrive and live independently for as long as possible. And whereas St. Charles Parish can work to build an even better community for our older residents by planning programs that encourage independence, ensuring activities are responsive to the individual's needs and preferences, and increasing access to services that support aging in place. And whereas the 2022 theme for Older Americans Month is Age My Way. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 as Older Americans Month in St. Charles Parish, and urge every resident to recognize contributions of older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, and join efforts to support older Americans' choices about how they age in their communities. Be it further resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim Friday, May 13th, 2022, as Older Americans Month Celebration Day, and encourage all citizens in the parish to join in the festivities from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Edward A. Dufresne Community Center in Luling. And I believe here to accept is Ms. April Keller.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the parish president and the council for our proclamation. I invite all seniors to come out on May 13th at the community center. It's free admission. We will have door prizes. We'll have providers there with information tables. We'll have a photo booth, fish fry, beanbag baseball, cornhole, and free throw. I would also like to thank the Parks and Recreation and Rsvp for co-sponsoring this event with us. Y'all come out.
Okay, 2022-0107, a proclamation, ALS Awareness Month in St. Charles Parish. Whereas amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, is often referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord. And whereas it's estimated that ALS is responsible for nearly 2 deaths per 100,000 people annually. More people die every year of ALS than of Huntington's disease or multiple sclerosis, and it occurs 2/3 as frequently as multiple sclerosis. Whereas the ALS Association symbolizes the hopes of people everywhere that amyotrophic lateral sclerosis will one day be a disease of the past, relegated to historical status, studied in medical textbooks, conquered by the dedications of thousands who have worked carelessly to understand and eradicate this perplexing killer. And whereas ALS is an incurable, fatal neuromuscular disease, it's characterized by progressive muscle weakness and the resulting in paralysis, and whereas the disease attacks nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, causing muscles to no longer receive the messages that they need in order to function, gradually weakening and deteriorating them. And whereas the members in the community come together to raise funds to benefit the ALS Association in their fight against ALS. Time is not on the side of those affected. Fighting ALS is a full-time job, and whereas the 2020 New Orleans Walk to Defeat ALS will be held Saturday, September 17, 2022. Registration begins at 9 a.m. The walk begins at 10 a.m. at Lafayette Park, 3500 Downs Boulevard in Metairie. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 as ALS Awareness Month at St. Charles Parish. And we will get this to Ms. Brady. (2022-0108) Proclamation Flood Risk Awareness Month in St. Charles Parish. Mr. Gibbs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Proclamation, whereas flooding poses a risk to the safety and property of residents, and whereas flooding from storm surge is one of the biggest dangers during tropical weather, and whereas it is recommended that all residents purchase flood insurance regardless of their flood zone, and whereas the Parish's Flood Aware Committee was organized in 2017 to compile a plan for public information that informs residents of local flood risks and promotes flood insurance coverage. And whereas the Flood Aware Committee is led by the Public Information Office and the parish's Coastal Zone Management Team and includes stakeholders from the local Chamber of Commerce, industry, real estate, banks, and nonprofits. And whereas on February 17th, 2020, the St. Charles Parish Council approved Resolution number 6475, officially adopting the Stormwater Management Program for Public Information, which has been submitted to the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, for the community rating system to hopefully reduce flood insurance rates for all St. Charles Parish residents. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council, the Parish President, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 as Flood Risk Awareness Month in St. Charles Parish. Be it further resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby urge all community members to purchase flood insurance and be informed of local flood risks and mitigation practices during the month of May. Mr. Albert, I'm going to give this to you. I don't know if you want to take a picture of it with me.
We'll send it to FEMA.
You buttoned up and you were going to.
I just want to take a moment to thank my employees, particularly Danielle and Earl. When I took over this job, I asked them what we could do to help with flood insurance rates. It's been a long time coming, but that program and the efforts behind it were employee-generated, so they deserve the credit for really setting everything up and pulling it together, taking our CRS rating from an 8 to a 7, and hopefully lowering the insurance rates, considering everything we're faced with risk rating 2.0. Thank you all.
Okay, reports, finance, administrative activities, 2022-0109, animal control. Dr. Troxel. She's in the back. There she is.
Good evening, Council. Parish President. All right, we'll go through our Animal Control Annual Report. I'll pretty much go over our data for 2021 and what the animal shelter has seen during Hurricane Ida and a lot that our parish has been through for the past 7 months. Let's see. What's the trick on that? Okay, you've got it. Okay, so our total shelter intake last year was about the same as in 2020. We take in about 1,400 animals per year, and the majority of those are cats. And then how do they find homes? We have about 22% of our residents that do find their dogs at our animal shelter, and they come and get them. Of course, being microchipped is the easiest way to find your pet immediately and get a phone call. And then we have about only 10% of cats that have gone back home from the owners coming to claim them. However, that is about a 66% increase from 2019. We do actually have everyone microchip their pet before they leave our shelter, and then if we ever get them again, we can find them immediately. So owner reclaim rate on cats actually increased. We have about 20% of our population adopted locally. In the South, there just aren't enough homes to resorb all the homeless animals. So we adopt what we can here locally, but what we noticed is for Hurricane Ida, people were able to really hold on to their pets for about 2 months. So around October, our owner surrenders really surged. People were stressed, living in their homes that are gutted with their pets. And even though we provided donated food, crates, things of that nature from the Department of Agriculture, some people just absolutely reached break-in points 2 months into this. So we actually had a lot less adoptions last year. As you can see, we had a 55% decrease in cat adoptions and a 16% decrease in dogs. However, we kind of make up for that with our national adoptions. Each year, our national adoptions increase by about 4% for dogs, 4% for cats. And last year, cat adoptions nationally increased by 6%. So we actually fly a lot of pets out to find homes nationally, and literally anything that's adoptable and not a public safety risk gets adopted. It just requires a lot of work and manpower on our team's part, but it's all funded by donations to greater good charities. And then live outcome release rate for dogs was 82%, a little bit lower than 2020. Cat live release rate was 68%, which is a little bit lower than the year before. But the effect of that is the personality types that we're getting in the shelter, how old the cat is, and are they social or not. Length of stay is still impressive despite everything our community went through last year. Dogs only stay in our shelter about 3 weeks, and cats are less than 2 weeks. So bite cases is always a call out that our animal control officers handle in conjunction with the sheriff's department. Bully breeds accounted for almost 49% of bite cases. And then the second on the list is to be expected, the lab, just because they're the most common breed, and then the Chihuahua, because we know that's to be expected too. And then bite victims, dog on dog attacks or dog on cat attacks was about 13%. So those animals actually fall under our dangerous dog spectrum, depending on how severe the injuries were to the animal. Cat to human, 8%. People love to feed cats and then try to pick them up and realize it's semi-feral and they get bitten. And then dog to human is about 78% of our bite cases, which we do not like. We do not want those cases to happen. And what's interesting is we have very tight data for the past 2 years on our dangerous dog cases. Since we've had the dangerous dog ordinance put into place, we've had 83 dogs that were put on the spectrum. And the spectrum is potentially dangerous, dangerous, vicious, depending on the injuries. And 80 out of 83 of those dogs, that was a bite to a human or a pet. And then what is impressive is 10% of those dogs reoffended, meaning the person did not contain the pet appropriately and another injury occurred. But what's really impressive is 90% of the owners responsibly contained their pets, and we did not have another incident. So once they're on that potentially dangerous spectrum, 16-year-old or older can walk them, they can't go to dog parks. They have to be spayed and neutered, and honestly, that's really good. 90% of the owners manage their pets safely after that. And then we do offer mobile medical. If someone finds a pet, we do all the medical care, check them into our system while we wait for the stray hold to be up in 5 days. And if that pet isn't claimed, that person has the option of adopting them for an $80 adoption fee, and all the medical care is done. That our community really participated in during the whole COVID, and now that everyone's busy again, we just see a lot less of the fostering option as a good option for our community, which isn't surprising because so many people had housing damage. But that option's still there. And then reasons for decision, I mean, it really boils down to aggression. Sometimes they're severe medical that we can't make them have a normal life no matter what we do. So we definitely treat a lot of major orthopedic cases with donations, and we do what we can as long as they're treatable and can have a happy, healthy life. And then trap, neuter, return for people that have cats that don't have complaints and they are on their own property. We have done 251 of those surgeries this year, 727 spays and neuters, and only 8 heartworm treatments, which is impressive because in 2021 we did 13, and each heartworm treatment in a clinical practice can cost about $1,200. So we do a lot of early heartworm treatment and then fly them out to other states when they're non-infectious, and that state finishes the treatment, which thus saves us money. Volunteers are there all back, and we do orientation every Tuesday at 10 a.m. They come and bathe all our dogs before we have flights and walk them. And we had 1,800 calls in 2021, and that's wrong. We had 1,800 calls in 2020 and 2,795 calls in 2021. So that's a lot more calls. And with the disaster response, that's not unusual. But the calls are broken down into our ordinance violations. And as you can see, loose dogs takes the highest rank at 77 calls. And for cats, for investigations, cruelty, neglect, wellness checks are definitely top. We had a lot of weeks of cold weather, and we have to address those cases as well. And we took advantage of 20 jet flights to fly our dogs out. Each flight's about $25,000. Greater Good Charity supports all that 100%, and that's about $500,000 that we did not pay to fly pets out to homes. Petco, PetSmart stepped up. They each gave us $10,000 in our Hurricane Ida recovery. Department of Ag facilitated a lot of wire crates and food, about $20,000 worth, to help people retain their pets and to keep them from running loose after the storm, and that was a big help. And we went across the state training other shelters in disaster response, hosted a director symposium with the EOC directors and shelter directors, and had some radiological decon classes, ropes and rescue, animal sheltering and disasters. And we funded that with $75,000 in ASBCA grants, but involved the coastal parish shelters heavily because we all work together in response. And Department of Agriculture, they're always there for us. That's the $20,000, and our local turning rescues into pets funded about $5,000 into recovery in our community. And then for redemption, adoption, about 70% of our community choose a lower redemption fee when their pet ends up in the shelter and they're coming to claim him or her. It's half the price if you let us spay or neuter. And about 70% of our community participates in that because that's how we get more friends back when they leave the shelter intact. And we did go over all of our training. It was a multi-parish effort so we can all better respond to disaster. And before Ida, we flew out our entire shelter, and that's the goal of all of this, is that we can respond better to our community in disaster when we don't have any shelter-owned pets when we're dealing with response. And then we do Santa Paws every year, tails up and out as staff goes walking with the community, typically around 2 each day. And then Rescue Run Club is 6 a.m. every morning for the early risers. And then public health and safety is animal control's ultimate goal. We want to reunite, adopt out healthy and behaviorally sound pets. And we want to get them into homes as soon as possible. It's healthier for the pets. It's more financially sound for our community. And we educate the population, the people that are adopting all the time. Trap, neuter, return addresses the core issues of overpopulation. We don't just take in kittens. We find mom and dad, spay and neuter, and disaster response training so we can respond more efficiently. Any questions?
Ms. Cooley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do want to thank you for the great job that you and your department do.
Thank you.
Across the parish. I did adopt a dog from the shelter 11 years ago. That was heartworm positive, and she's still with us today. So
super. Thank you.
It does work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Shoxer, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you and the staff do.
Thank you.
2022-0110, Risk Management Safety, Ms. Rochelle Champagne.
Good evening, council members. Thank y'all for allowing me to share a brief presentation on what's going on in the risk management office for this past year. My first slide is going to be who we are, y'all. We're 4 parish employees that run the department. It's myself, 2 assistant risk managers, and 1 administrative assistant in there. I've been with the parish for 23 years. My 2 coworkers, the assistant risk managers, they're both 25-plus year employees. And then Miss Linda Dugas, who's our administrative assistant, she's been with the parish for 30 years as well. And I put a little fun factor at the bottom. Amongst the 4 employees, y'all, we have over 102 years of employment with the department. So that was a little throw out to the department. We're all seasoned employees. My next slide is going to be what we do in the department. We are your claims management in-house team. We take care of the general liability, auto liability, and property damage claims. We go after reimbursement from when we have other parties that damage our buildings, property, anything like that. We do go out and source and seek reimbursement. We perform investigations on employee injuries and accidents. We also facilitate drug testing. That's going to be for all accidents and injuries. Our department also facilitates medical treatment for our employees, and that includes transportation to doctor's appointments and visits and specialist follow-ups like that. We also monitor our workers' comp cases. And of course, we are your team that actually handles the expending out of the in-house loss fund and the SIR fund, which is our insurance funds. In the last year, risk management did facilitate training, and on the next 2 slides, it shows you the exact training that we actually put together for our in-house training, and that was taken by the field employees and some office employees as well. There's quite a lot of topics that were covered. Some other tasks that the department works with is we assist with the MUTCD training. We assist with the DOTI one call, which is the one call to make sure all the lines are marked before excavations begin. We stay busy performing all the DMV verification checks on all our employees who drive our fleet vehicles. We provide 5 safety topics that are sent to the major departments. Another important thing, we work closely with administration to promote and implement safety policies, such as the drive-in safety policy, the foot protection policy, which just went in effect last week, y'all. I'm sorry, this week, actually. It was implemented on Monday. That was thanks to Parish President Jewell. This was based on some previous injuries that were received by some of our employees. And in order to prevent that, he was willing to put together a safety policy, safety shoe policy, and that is implemented. And then, of course, substance abuse policy, we do work with HR in regards to that. Our department also performs annual inspections, and that's 3 samples right there, streets and roads. We perform the recreation park inspections during the summertime, and then we also provide a wastewater pond inspections as an alternate for DEQ. We get a lot of calls, y'all, for trees. Trees are a big thing in our parish, and it's very important. We take those seriously. We perform research. We want to make sure that the trees are in the parish servitudes, or if they're not, then to what fact is it, what's the health of that tree? Is it a safety hazard? Is it not? Is it something that we could cut, or is it something that we cannot cut? The next slide is going to be some claims, y'all, some claims counts, last year's versus this year. Our SIR property claims, last year we had 4 property claims. This year we have 3. 3 looks small, but it also includes every property due to the hurricane. So that's a big claim number, even though it's just 3. Reimbursements, we had 11 last year. To date, we had 7 for this year. SIR claims are all claims that are over $5,000. Last year we had 4, this year we have 9. In-house loss claims, that's all claims that are dollar valued below $5,000. And as you can see, we're at 150. Let me point out too, our claims year for risk management is actually May 1st to May 1st. So the claim count looks high, but we're actually at the very end of our policy year. And then workers' comp claims. These claims are actually January through December. And last year we had 39 injuries. And to date for this year, we have 3. And then, of course, our mission. We serve as a resource for the health and safety and well-being of our parish employees and property by managing risk and reducing the frequency, severity, and associated costs of claims through continuous education, participation, and communication. And this is who we are. We're located here at the courthouse. Our hours are 8:30 to 4, Monday through Friday. It's our contact numbers. And of course, we are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even after hours. Just contact EOC and they will be happy to call out the risk manager or assistant who's on call, and we will respond. And I'll take any questions if y'all have any. And I appreciate your time.
Ms. Fonseca.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Rochelle, I'm just curious on the workers' compensation numbers.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the change that helped reduce the number of claims from 30 to 3?
Well, we are still in the beginning of the year. We're just April right now, so we have.
Okay, I was thinking it was just about to end in May.
It's gonna end. That is for general liability, but workers' comp policy is January through December.
Okay.
But we're gonna knock on wood because that's a low number and we will take it. We're gonna strive to keep it very low this year.
I was gonna say, we must have done something pretty,
Yes. I'm gonna attest that to some of that training. As y'all seen, we had 2 pages of tons and tons of training. And we're gonna keep that up and hope that all new employees come in, and even older employees just keep up with their training and keep that safety factor in mind. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Okay, 2022-0111, Parish President's Remarks and Report. Mr. Jewell.
Thank you, Chairman. Try to be quick for y'all, really. Yeah, you're right. All right. We just talked about group housing. We talked about this at the last council meeting just briefly, that we were going to work to get a meeting set up. So tomorrow evening, the council will host a meeting with representatives from FEMA to discuss group housing sites in St. Charles Parish. This is open to the public. We will we have notified through Facebook and other channels that this event was happening. We'll send out a reminder tomorrow for residents to come to the council chambers. Starts at 6 p.m. And if we want people to come out and listen to what FEMA has to say, and we want the council to be able to get all the questions answered that they have, as well as the public. So look forward to that. Just a couple of projects going on. This was actually not a project, but a response to, this is at 4th Street and Pine in Norco, where we had a water leak at a valve, and our folks had to go out and fix that. So it's important to know that before we do any planned shutoffs, we will go around and notify the public via door hangers or just a knock on the door to let them know, hey, that we plan to shut off your water. We don't want to shut you off while you're in the middle of washing clothes or middle of taking a shower with shampoo in your hair. But sometimes issues do happen with, busted lines or busted valves, and we have to do emergency shutoffs. So this is an instance where you see that. But we get out there really quickly, and we try to get it resolved and get people back up and running as fast as possible. Next, we had some, Rochelle talked about some training that they do in risk management. So we had some members of our public works teams who went out and did some asset works training. And if you're not familiar with Asset Works, it is a program that we use to track all of our assets, and we are now integrating it with all of our work orders. So trying to move from paper work orders to this system to help keep track and help us schedule these work orders to keep them more on time. I recently learned that we had a work order that we recently found that was 6 years old. So that is certainly not the service level that I want our residents to experience in St. Charles Parish. So that's why we are investing in technology. This isn't new technology. The plants have been doing it for years, and it's just part of my incentive to really drive efficiency. So we had that crew go out and do some more training on that to really unlock the full potential of Asset Works for our department there. All right. You can see here some cleaning that's been going on along Cousins Canal. We removed some of the trees. We left the root balls in place so that the ground stays sturdy. But by removing the trees, it allows us to get in there and maintain the bottom profile of the canal more easily. And it is definitely more aesthetically pleasing than a bunch of overgrown trees. My understanding is, Mike, that they're working on Primrose Canal now. Okay, so they're working on Primrose. They're not going to be doing as much grubbing on Primrose, but more of just keeping the profile and the grade the way it's supposed to be. So there's some work there near Mimosa. So this is, again, at the front near Mimosa Elementary, near the bank. Next, Recreation on May 18th is hosting a casino trip for residents who are 55 and older that will go to the casino over in Bay St. Louis. I believe it's Hollywood Casino. So residents who are 55 or older who want to participate can join the trip by calling 985-783-5090 for more information. And this is very popular. It's a great, just a great benefit for our residents who are older. And, part of what we want to offer, some non-traditional recreation type activities. And then we are going to have a town hall for Chevron, the Chevron donation, which happened last year, and will allow our residents to give input on the boat launch. We do have it incorrect on the screen. It's actually May 3rd, not May 5th. We have not shared this yet, so before this goes out, we will have the correct date on there, but we do have a lot of things going on in May, and that's going to be at the Edward A. Dufresne Community Center in Luling from 6 to 7:30 p.m. We look forward to showing a rendering of what a boat launch could look like in that donated piece of property. And we want to get the residents' inputs on not only the launch itself, but what else they would like to see at the at that property. So please come out on the 3rd. All right, we have an election in April. So early voting is, April 30th is the election day, with one item on the ballot for school board millage for 5.01 mills, which would be used for capital projects. And on the capital projects list, it looks like there are a couple of Destrehan High School, Hornville High School Satellite Center improvements for the career and technical education renovations and additions, the school/center renovations and additions at several of the middle schools and Head Starts, as well as technology in various school district sites. So that will be going on April 30th. And early voting is happening now through Saturday, April 23rd, which is here at the courthouse, 15045 River Road in Hawnville, as well as the Allen Arterberry Building on the East Bank, which is 14564 River Road in New Sarpy. So residents can come out and early vote during that time. Next, we will go to sales tax numbers. Sales tax collections for February 2022 is $3,132,583.07. This represents a 1.45% increase year over year versus February 2021. And year to date, we are currently right under 5%, 4.9% higher than this time last year. Okay, and going on to job openings, animal control officer, carpenter, clerk 1, coastal zone management planner, equipment operators 1, 2, 3, and 4, grass cutters 1 and 2, groundskeeper, laborers, part-time housing inspector, pump technician, shop mechanic helper. So if you know anybody, or if you would like to come work for St. Charles Parish, we would love to have you here and love for you to make a career at St. Charles Parish. You're going to see some signs up in front of the courthouse and signs going up in various public buildings in St. Charles letting people know that we're hiring. Additionally, the parish is going to be purchasing 2 more permanent size signs that we will place in highly trafficked areas that show not only that we're hiring, but what number to call and what job positions are opening. So we are doing everything that we can to get the word out that we are hiring and that we are a great place to work and we have great benefits. And that's it for my report.
Thank you, Mr. Jewell. Ordinances, resolutions introduced for publication, public hearing. Monday, May 2nd, 2022, 6 p.m., Council Chambers, Courthouse, Hahnville. 2022-0112, 2022-0022, 2022-0116, 2022-0117, 2022-0118, 2022-0121, 2022-0123, 2022-0124, 2022-0125. Copies have been made and placed at your seats. 2022-0126, 2022-0127. Ordinances scheduled for public hearing introduced at a previous meeting. 2021-0030, an ordinance to approve and authorize the execution of an act of donation by Ashton Plantation Estates, LLC, to St. Charles Parish for a certain parcel of land situated on the corner of Ashton Boulevard and the Union Pacific Railroad to be used to extend Deputy Jeff G. Watson Drive. Mr. Jewell.
Thank you, Chairman. This is a land donation that came before the council last year. There are 2 portions of land that Ashton Estates LLC wishes to donate to St. Charles Parish. They are two separate ordinances. The first one was the land near the soccer field, which the council passed. Ashton wishes to make the donations together, and this second portion of land, which is across from the one that was already that the donation was already approved for, is the one you see before you today. So this is just a land donation, and I would ask for all of your support.
File number 2022-0030 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone here who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak.
Thank you, Council Chair. My name is Roy Martin. It's 210 Brownie Drive in Luling. I am the president of St. Charles Soccer. We're here to support the donation for the additional property over there at Ashton Boulevard. We realized that the donation that you guys about a year ago went and passed. We really did appreciate that to extend on our complex, but now we may come to the realization that the properties have been brought together. So we're just trying to show our support to get the additional property so we can start utilizing that facility, because currently right now we're kind of landlocked at where we're at. So we're trying to get the additional land so we can start using it. You know, just a little bit on what we do. I mean, we got roughly 700 kids that we're supporting with our group in the parish. And it's not just one area, it's all corners of the parish, so we're everybody. Our goal as our organization is to centralize our location, to have everything over at the Ashton complex, instead of having 4 to 5 different parks, because that's kind of that situation that we're right now. So, I mean, we got parents that have, on Saturday mornings, have to go to 2 to 3 different locations to try to catch both of their kids' games. So we're trying to be able to get those guys all in one spot. So, look, and a couple things. I do a lot of traveling. My kids are a little bit older, so I travel throughout the state, throughout the other states also. The location of this facility that we have, over at Ashton, is probably one of the easiest to get to in the whole state. I mean, it's right there. We got kids and teams that come from all throughout the state. All you got to do is tell them to look to the left when you come over the bridge, and it's easy to find, you know, so it's easy to get to. And we're just trying to make it easier on our parents, make it easier on the kids, have everybody together where those guys could, you know, it'd be a positive impact on the parish to have everybody in one location. And it's easier on the parents, it's easier on the kids. So that's kind of what we're looking for, and we hope that you guys would support that.
Thank you. Okay. Does anyone else like to come up and speak regarding this item? Please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record.
Dwayne Foray, 111 Valcourt Lane. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Parish President, members of the council. I ask you to please really consider this parcel of land. I know it's not directly tied to this, but it comes together as one. It will add a tremendous amount of value to our soccer program and to our residents. So please consider it. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Foray. Does anyone else would like to come up and speak regarding this item? Please do so now. Please state your name for the address, your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ed Wadden, and I'm a representative of St. Charles Soccer, and I am looking and hoping for you guys to support this donation of land. We recognize and appreciate the fact that you guys supported us previously, but we also recognize that the owner of this property wishes to donate this land as a package. So we respect that, and it's important that you guys vote in favor of this tonight, because this will tie together our soccer organization very much so, because that 4.5 acres of land that we will get with this donation, which incidentally, after it was donated, it wasn't signed over to us because the desire of the owner was to package it together. So with this donation, we will get this 4.5 additional acres to enlarge the property that we already have and we're using at Ashton right now. We support the entire parish for youth soccer. And this is a piece of land at Ashton that will allow us to bring all of our activities together. We're hoping very much so that you guys will vote in favor of this ordinance in support of the donation of this land. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ed, excuse me, Mr. Ward.
Oh, sure. Excuse me.
Could you please give us your address for record, please?
Oh, yes. I'm Ed Widened. I live at 18 Patricia Court in Luling, and I've been a resident of the parish now for about 47 years. But I'm not an original, and that's important. I'm not an original. My friends who say, you know, that Ed, we appreciate that you've been here that long, but you're not an original. But I would hope to be.
Thank you, Mr. Ed. Appreciate it.
Any other questions? But one other thing. We have been in business of soccer now for 40 years. This shirt that I'm wearing is when we were organized in 1982. And we continue to present a very, very fine program for our youth of the parish. So we appreciate your support and a positive vote. Thank you.
Does anyone else like to come up and speak regarding this item? Please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2022-0030. And that motion passes with 7 yeas, with Ms. Belloc and Ms. Comier absent. 2022-0091, an ordinance to clarify and establish the street name of East Terrence Street in New Sarpy. This is just an ordinance to officially name East Terrace Street. As it was laid out, roadway was not done. So during some research that we found in the New Sarpy area, there was a couple of things that didn't quite jive with the maps in the 911. So this is just to clear it up. We've contacted everybody on East Terrace Street, and there was no opposition to it. I would appreciate your support. File number 2022-0091 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone here who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2022-0091. And that motion passes with 7 yeas. 2022-0092, an ordinance to amend Code of Ordinances to revise Chapter 15, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Section 15-9, Speed Limits, A, to provide an exception to the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, to lower the speed limit on the 400 block of River Oaks Drive in Luling to 15 miles an hour. Ms. Billings.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I was contacted by a resident in Luling, River Oaks Drive, in June of 2021. There are complaints on that street that there are many children under the age of 13 who frequently play outside, and those that are walking to and from swim practice that is at the end of the street at Mimosa Swim and Racket Club. I am asking that you vote for this speed change. I've been in contact with the St. Charles Parish Sheriff's Office to notify them of a proposed change, with the understanding that some of the residents of this street may be the ones, in fact, that get tickets if this does happen. But I've been told that a radar trailer can be positioned on this street to help notify drivers that there's going to be a change in the speed limit to maybe mitigate the tickets that may come of a reduced speed limit along here. So if the lower speed limit will help prevent even one child from being injured or, God forbid, be killed, I think this warrants a speed change because of the special exception of the swim club down at the end of the street. It'll help slow traffic down as they enter that area. So I ask for your vote on this speed change. Thank you.
Thank you. File number 2022-0092 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak.
Thank you very much. I'm Jeff Weems. This is my wife, Kristen. We live at 418 River Oaks Drive. We've been there for 5 years. It's kind of been a progression for us up to this point. We have actually, I'm a former paramedic myself, so I'm on first name basis with a lot of the sheriff's deputies around here, plus my brother's a sheriff's deputy as well. So I've been in contact with them, asking them to come help us out. They'll post a deputy on the street, people will slow down until they leave, and then back at it again. So we also we reached out to Miss Billings, and she helped us out a lot with a lot of stuff. She did put one of the speed limit trailers there for a while. That slowed it down, but once again, as soon as it was gone, the race is back on. So we've, like I said, it's kind of a progression for us, and we're asking to please change the speed limit for us. Just our street, we're at 418, and just behind us, there's 11 kids under the age of 13. I think there's 5 other children in front of us, one of them special needs, and we've seen people go at least 40 miles an hour. You're not going to stop everybody from speeding, but if we could change the speed limit, we could change people from going highway speeds on a residential road with children everywhere. We appreciate your time, and we ask you to vote in favor of us. Thank you.
Just to add, I'm Kristen Weems, same address, 418 River Oaks Drive. Monsanto and Kellogg are both 15 miles an hour, but our street is not. We have 3 daughters, and I really don't want to see them get hurt. So please change it.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else like to come up and speak regarding this item? Please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2022-0093. I apologize. No, I'm wrong. I apologize. 2022-0092. And that passes with 7 yeas.
Cool.
President Jewell.
Yes. Thank you, Chairman. I thought I was in trouble for a second.
Me too.
No, you are. You are.
I apologize. Chairman, I made a fatal error in my parish president's report by not mentioning that Ms. Callie Zammit was here today to introduce our new agent in St. Charles Parish. So I want to turn it over and let that happen really quick. And I appreciate you giving me the time to do it.
Yeah, we voted.
We sincerely thank y'all for this interruption, and I apologize for that. And thank you, Parish President, Council Chairman, and our council members for the opportunity to not only be here today, but for your continued support of the LSU Ag Center. I'm Callie Zammit. I'm the Parish Chair and 4-H agent of the LSU Ag Center. And as the Parish Chair, I'd like to introduce our new Horticulture Extension agent. His name is Gabriel Lococo. He is a native of St. Charles Parish, and he started in January. And he's also a product of our 4-H Youth Development Program. So he's going through the reins of 4-H from 4th grade through 12th grade, and et cetera. So I'll turn the mic over him to introduce himself as a new county agent, is what we've referred it to, as well as our horticulture agent for the LSU Ag Center.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Gabriel Lococo. I'm the new horticulture agent for St. Charles Parish. I graduated from LSU this past December with a Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Systems with a concentration in horticulture science. And then I quickly returned home back in January to start as the county agent for St. Charles Parish. So the LSU Ag Center allows me to extend the educational arm of the university to the residents of St. Charles Parish. So y'all give me a call if you need help with anything related to your gardens, lawns, soil, or anything horticulture related. Our office number is in the parish bulletin, and I hope to hear from y'all. Thanks.
Ms. Cluley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think our parish-wide is going to be in need of trees replaced, and so we'll need your help. And if you know of any organizations that are donating trees or donating their time and efforts to replant trees, please contact administration.
We'll be in touch.
Awesome.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Thank you. 2022-0093, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of Amendment Number 2 to Ordinance 20-7-6 and 21-8-5, which approved the engineering services agreement and Amendment Number 1 with Principal Engineering Incorporated to perform design service for the East Bank Master Drainage Plan, Parish Project Number P200601, in the amount not to exceed $80,400. Mr. Palamone.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this Amendment Number 2 has two parts to it. The first part is dealing with the application for the Louisiana watershed associated with Destrehan Pump Station Number 2 and to increase the flow capacity underneath the CN Railroad. Part of that grant application is we have to do a benefit cost analysis, and included in that we need a hydraulic and hydrologic H&H report model. Since they are familiar with the model itself, because they did the master plan, it makes sense for them to perform that service. That amounts to about $65,000. The second part is dealing in the Muntz watershed, and the parish is reviewing some of the drainage patterns there that was presented in the original master drainage plan, and the parish desires to continue to route the drainage flow generated north of the KCS tracks west of Evangeline Road to the Prescott Station. Basically, what we're looking at is there's about 1/3 of the watershed that is in St. John Parish. We're looking to try and separate that out from what we drain. So the current hydraulic model does not utilize that configuration. So Principal Engineering will revise the model watershed to reflect what we're proposing on the new drainage pattern, and that amounts to $15,400. Total amount of the change order, or the amendment, is $80,400, and the Administration Public Works asks for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Palamone. File number 2022-0093 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Ms. Cluley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In regarding the concept to put up a berm between St. John and St. Charles Parish, doesn't this go against the watershed initiative to where you're draining the whole watershed and not separating out different parts? Or is this what they recommend?
They being?
The state.
We haven't finalized this yet to show the state. That's part of what they are doing right now. I don't know of anything within the watershed guidelines that we can't separate that water, though.
I missed the first part of the question, sorry.
Well, it's my understanding that as a watershed initiative, you're draining the whole proximity of the property, not differentiating between parish lines.
Right. Yeah, so I guess it's important to know that the second portion of this, the Muntz portion, has nothing to do with the Louisiana Watershed Initiative. This is kind of our own initiative, our own permitting. So what our initial thought process from looking at the watershed is that if we can take our water and we can pump it we reduce a large portion of water that we have to pump.
Right.
So that further increases our efficiency of our pumps. And the state is already going to be requesting that we take out the temporary Prescott station, which is at Airline Highway. Now, that station's about 176 CFS, I think. But the I won't call them the jack and bores, but the box culverts underneath Airline Highway can actually flow 400 CFS. So what we would do, and this is what's going to be modeled, and I don't know if Mike alluded to this while I was in the back, but what we would do is model the St. John water taking the same path that it always takes. So actually, there's no change to where their water goes. But they actually can flow more water more quickly because we actually take out that station and increase the natural gravity drainage. So it's going to be a little bit of a complicated process. We will have to get it permitted. Sam Scholey's already been working with the state on this. But the only thing that would change would be us routing a little bit of our water that normally goes into the culverts under Airline Highway to those new stations that we want to do. And, to me, it's a benefit. It's a win for that area because they can flow more water. It's a win for us. We're no longer pumping water that isn't ours. And it's going to be a benefit to the whole watershed, I believe.
And at the end of the day, we're still draining the entire watershed. It's just taking a different path.
Right. I just wanted that clarified. Thanks.
But in order for the state to approve such a change, they're going to want to see a model of how it works.
Okay. Any further council discussion? Okay. Please cast your votes for file number 2022-0093. And that motion passes with 7 yeas. 2022-0095, an ordinance to approve and authorize the execution of an agreement with the St. Charles Parish Department of Community Services and the St. Charles Parish School Board for a summer food service program from June 6, 2022 through July 14, 2022. Ms. Jones, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. This is our annual summer food program. As I said, food insecurity is a big issue in St. Charles Parish, especially in the summertime for kids. So this is our agreement with the St. Charles Parish School Board to utilize 2 sites, an East Bank and West Bank site, and to provide bus transportation to the pockets around the parish to get kids there as well.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. File number 2022-0095 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone that would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Ms. Cluley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know there's always been a push to extend the deadline of this program, so I don't know if any attempt was made to push this more towards the end of July instead of having it end in the middle.
It's a little bit complex because of the fact that the school system has their calendar preparation to gear up. School starts earlier and earlier. But what we do, in our center programs, we always provide snacks, and those snacks have grown into mini meals, I guess you could say. And then we also, in addition, do our lunch and learn on the go for the community. So we're finding other creative ways to continue to infuse hot meals into the community with the resources available to us, of course. Yes.
Any other council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2022-0095. And that motion passes with 7 yeas. Ms. Jones, thank you and all your department. It's been a pleasure.
Support.
I know y'all work really hard. 2022-0096, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of an active dedication for Heather Oaks Phase 1 Luling. Mr. Albert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a major subdivision for 89 lots. The plat has been approved and signed, The department approvals are included in your agenda, and all fees have been paid in full. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Albert. File number 2022-0096 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Chairman, council members, Parish President Jew. I'm Danny Hebert, 14433 River Road in Hahnville, representing Heather Oaks Phase 1. The project started in December of 2020, was slated to be finished about 5 months ago, and is just now wrapping up. So we appreciate your support and be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh, by the way, it's 89 residential lots that average, I want to say the minimum lot frontage is 80 feet, up to about 107 feet. 89 residential lots. This also includes one HOA authorized or maintained recreational lot as well.
Thank you. If there's anyone else like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Council discussion, Ms. Fonseca.
Yes, Mr. Hebert, I have a question for you. This is the first time that this has come before this council. I know since we took office, it's gone before the Planning Commission. I know the administration has had their hands on it. And a lot of my concerns have been addressed along the way. The one concern I have at the moment is what measure has been put in place to maintain that green space, because that is not parish-owned, and I know it may take time for a HOA to be formed. Can you help me with that?
Yes, ma'am. Good question, actually. The developer works with a group that does his recreational spaces. It's a group out of Lafayette. They are currently working on a drawing that's going to include a fence along that residential of the recreational lot. They're going to have a fence and a sign in the front. That's not really a part of this process, but they're going to get a permit through planning and zoning to do that very shortly. In fact, I think they may be working with the department now to get that, but that's not something we're doing. But to answer your question, it's going to be maintained as a green space. It's my understanding they're going to have some passive rec features in there, possibly picnic tables and things like that.
So is the management company in place and ready to cut the grass?
Yes, so the HOA is run by a third-party entity that I think this developer uses the same company wherever they develop. So even after the residents, consume the lots and are inhabiting the site, the same management company will run this facility.
I know in conversations early on, it was mentioned that they were going to have a management company, but we don't see any of that in our documentation, so I just wanted to make sure that a contract's been put in place for this subdivision.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
In the covenants, I'm certain that in the covenants, it mentions the maintenance will be totally HOA completed per the parish code.
It just doesn't say there's a management company.
No, that's
so
right.
that's why I posed the question again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Ms. Cluley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Don't leave yet. Just want to make sure that any issues with Peterson Canal have already been addressed or corrected going forward.
I think, Peterson Canal has been widened. There was a section very near Heather Street that was about 400 feet that was just recently widened. It was one of the last sections to be widened, basically because there were some issues that involved the pumping station in that area that the developer and the parish worked together. The parish actually put some sheet piles there to stabilize an unstable bank. So that area was recently widened and unfortunately does not have the grass growth on it that it needs. So they are matting it. They're going to seed the entire canal. They're going to put a silt fence up until the residents actually develop, fill, landscape, and all those things along the canal. Can't say that it won't be a maintenance issue every time it rains hard, but they are responsible to come back and clean any siltation out. We've had a discussion today with Mr. Palamone and others. for the 18 months from your acceptance.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other council discussion? Thank you, Mr. Abel. Okay, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2022-0096. And that motion passes with 7 yeas. 2022-0113, a resolution to add St. Charles Parish to a letter of support for the consideration of the Maurepas Swamp Project Supplemental Environmental Impact Statement to be used as mitigation for the West Shore Lake Pontchartrain Levy Project. Okay, so this is basically asking for the parish council and parish president's support to support the environmental impact thing for it. Basically to ask CPRA to get the river reinduction to Maurepas Swamp to offset the West Shore Lake Pontchartrain Levy Project, and allows mitigation to remain in the same watershed and habitat as the levy project. As you know, we've done a couple of different ordinances supporting a couple of these different versions, so I would ask for your support. File number 2022-0113 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Council discussion. I just want to thank all of y'all for getting on board with this. I really do. Parish President Jewell, I think we've all seen the importance of drainage in these projects and flood mitigation. So the West Shore Levy Project will be a welcome addition to our flood mitigation program. So again, thank y'all for that. Please cast your votes for file number 13. And that motion passes with 7 yeas. 2022-0122, a resolution in support of the Planning and Zoning Commission's approval of 2022-6 SPU for the operation of a green market at the St. Charles Parish East Regional Library, Destrehan, M1 zoning, and the West Bank Bridge Park, Luling, C3 zoning, as requested by Ann Montgomery for the German Coast Farmers Market. Mr. Albert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The special permit use will formalize the operations of the German Coast Farmers Market at 2 locations, East Regional Library in Destrehan and the West Bank Bridge Park in Luling. The department recommended approval with some flexibility built in case they need to change the internal configuration, but the sites are designated as they are, and the Planning Commission approved it with those conditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Albert. File number 2022-0122 is now open for public comment. Is there anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item? Please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2022-0122. And that motion passes with 7 yeas. Okay, appointments. 2022-0026, a resolution to appoint a member of the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission as a District 3 representative. The council will confirm the nomination from the District 3 council member to fill the unexpired vacancy caused by the resignation of the term of Mr. David P. Scheck-Snyder, Sr., the unexpired term to begin immediately. Our nominee is Mr. James Joseph Kreitcher. Please cast your votes to appoint Mr. James Joseph Cratcher Jr. to the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission as a District 3 representative. And that motion passes 7 yeas. 2022-0054, a resolution to appoint a member of the St. Charles Parish Library Board of Control as the District 6 representative. The council will confirm the nomination from the District 6 council member to fill the vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of Ms. Lori Lyons, 5-year term to begin immediately and expire April 1st, 2027. Our nominee is Ms. Robin Robichaux. Please cast your votes to confirm the appointment of Ms. Robin Robichaux to the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission? No, it should be to the St. Charles Parish Library Board as a District 6 representative. Just made that change. Made that change. It needs to be the library board. Oh, okay. Please go ahead and cast your votes. And that motion passes with 7 yeas. Okay, 2022-0115, a resolution to appoint a member of the Hospital Service District Number 1, Parish of St. Charles. On Monday, May 2nd, Council Chairman will accept the nominations to fill a vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of Mr. William J. Sermon III, a 6-year term to begin May 22nd, 2022 and expire May 22nd, 2028. 2022-0119, a resolution to appoint a member of the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission as a District 1 representative. On Monday, May 2nd, 2022, Council Chairman will accept the nomination from the District 1 council member to fill a vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of Ms. Marilyn K. Ross, a 4-year term to begin May 31st, 2022 and expire May 31st, 2026. 2022-0120, a resolution to appoint a member to the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission as a District 7 representative. On Monday, May 2nd, 2022, Council Chairman will accept a nomination from the District 7 council member to fill the vacancy caused by the expiration of the term of Mr. Scott M. Galliano, 4-year term to begin May 31st, 2022 and expire May 31st, 2026. Meeting, announcements, notices, etc. Meetings. Special Projects Public Safety, Health, and Environmental Committee, Tuesday, April 19th, 2022, 6 p.m., Council Chambers, a discussion regarding FEMA temporary housing unit group site in St. Charles Parish. The Board of Adjustment, Tuesday, April 21st, 2022, 6 p.m. in the Council Chambers. The Housing Authority, Tuesday, April 26, 2022, 6 p.m. in the Council Chambers. Hospital Service District 1, April 27th, Wednesday, 2 p.m., 2022, in the Council Chambers. And the St. Charles Parish Council meeting Monday, May 2nd, 2022, 6 p.m., Council Chambers. Announcements. Important dates for the April 30th, 2022 School Board Special Election. Tuesday, April 26th, 2022 is the last day to request absentee by mail ballots. Early voting Tuesday, April 19th through Saturday, April 23rd, 2022, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the West Bank, the Courthouse, 15045 River Road, Hanville, and the East Bank, the Auterbury Building, 14564 River Road in New Sarpy. Friday, April 29th, 2022, the last day for register to receive voted absentee ballot. and Saturday, April 30th, 2022, Election Day, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. St. Charles Parish has the following emergency polling location changes for the April 30th, 2022 election. Precinct 2-3 from the Bible Center Church, 422 Barton Avenue in Luling, to Mimosa Park Elementary School, 222 Birch Street, Luling, Louisiana. Precincts 4-1 and 4-1A from St. Gertrude Education Center, 17363 LA 631 Des Allemands, Louisiana, to Almonds Elementary School, 1471 WPA Road in Des Allemands. A motion and a second is needed to adjourn. I have a motion by Ms. Fonseca, second by Ms. Cooley. Please cast your votes.